everybody, my name is Brittany of Britzy Thrift. I'm a reseller on Poshmark, and I am excited to announce that I have finally rented a storage unit. It's been a long time coming. I've needed one very badly. I rented a 10 by 15 climate controlled storage unit. The main reason I wanted one is because we have a 2-bedroom home, and I have had my son sleeping in our bedroom, in his own bed, but still in our bedroom since he was born, and now he's 3.5, and I feel that he really needs his own space for his toys, and I kind of want to get him into the habit of sleeping away from us because he's becoming a big boy, and he just needs his own space. So I needed to get my stuff out of there. The other reason is because my home kind of started to feel a little overrun by my business. Every time I looked, there would be a pile of something that needed to be done over here or a pile of something that I had just done over there. And that cozy home feeling was starting to disappear. So I decided that it was time to separate. I need my personal space to be my personal space, and I need a place for my business to be just my business. So the storage unit seemed like a really good call. In this next clip, you're going to see just how I've been operating out of that second bedroom. Please forgive me. I'm a little embarrassed, but hey, I mean, it's you gotta do it, right? So this is what I've been doing, and you're gonna see just how crazy that other room is. So here's my other 27-gallon hyper tough stackable bins. You see how they're stacked there. I've got quite a few. 14 of these bins. This is the part that looks really, really horrible. These are more bags, some processed and some not. Here are some older bins. These are not the best. They are the cheapest at Walmart. This is older. When I first started, they're just not the best because they're not stackable and they do tend to bend in, but they are bins and they do have stuff in them. But eventually I want to get everything into these. So yeah, there's some older inventory that's in there. At one point, what you see back there are bookshelves where I thought it would be easier to just walk to the bookshelf and grab something off. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry, guys. But honestly, the reason it looks so bad is because I'm dealing with limited space. If I had like a basement or if I had like a super large whatever, it wouldn't look this bad. That's another reason I wanted a storage unit, because I feel like I can get more organized. But with it just crammed in here like this, it's driving me crazy. I really have to look for stuff. Over here, about these shelving units, I got those from Walmart as well. Not the sturdiest, but they have been working, and I do like the idea of being able to see all my inventory. A lot of times I would just have to walk straight to a shelf and I can spot the pattern or the color of whatever it is that I was looking for. But again, I like the bins better because it's easier to look it up in my notebook and be like, okay, it's in bin J, as opposed to walking to a shelf and being like, where is that blue thing again? And then over here, I started using the USPS boxes, like for boots and stuff, where I would just go ahead on and package it up, put it in the box, and then I put a Post-it on it so that way I could just walk right to the stack and be like, okay, I'm looking for Steve Madden boots. So I just go down the Post-its and I look for Steve Madden boots, and they're already in their boxes. But again, this is just too much. I need this stuff. I need my business to be out of my home, and that's exactly what's gonna happen, because I want my son to have his room. All of this stuff needs to be organized, and it will be, but just kind of trying to give you an idea. Also, I've got some stuff over there by the window, some boxes back there, some bins. It's just everywhere, and I'm like, I still want to resell. I love reselling, but definitely going into the storage unit is a breath of fresh air. I can have my personal space for my son back, and it'll just be separated. Now, let me show you another section, because this is the room, but it spills over into the bathroom as well. Okay, let me show you. So I've got some more old bins right here, and then over here on the wall, stacked all the way to the ceiling, trying to utilize that vertical space, more shoes and boots stacked up in here with Post-it notes all the way down to the floor. Oh, look, even more boxes stacked over here. And then there's a bin, another bin. This is just an oddball bin that I grabbed from the thrift store, and I grabbed it because it was big. But some more boxes, they're labeled, shoes, all of this is going into the storage unit. So
Bon voyage.
When I decided to go into a storage unit, one of the first things I needed to do was to get organized. So I had a lot of items that were photographed, listed, packaged, but they did not have homes. So I needed some more bins. And I like the ones that Walmart sells. You can order them online. They are the 27-gallon Hyper Tough stackable tote bins. They have black bottoms, red tops, very durable. You can stack them, but they do get a little bit heavy, so you might want to be careful about how much you're putting in them and also how high you're going to stack them, because whatever you stack, remember, you got to take them off. But they're very good for what I do, and I like them a lot. So I ordered 2 4-packs, which came up to $139. So I'm not a techie person. I have tried using spreadsheets to keep track of my inventory, but ultimately nothing compares to pen and paper. I love writing it down more than I do typing it into a spreadsheet. I had a little trouble with my spreadsheet that I used before. I think I hit a wrong key and something got all jumbled, and I was just like, you know what? This would never happen with pen and paper. Like, never. So even though I still try to put things into a spreadsheet, ultimately I rely on my notebook. And essentially, all I do is every time I buy something, so it's split up by year, and I have it in alphabetical order. Every time I buy something, I write the date, I write the item with a little bit of a description, where I bought it, how much I paid for it, and then I put the letter beside it that coincides with the bin that I put it in. So that way I know exactly where to find it. And that is what I needed to do for all the items that did not have homes. And I did pretty good because I had a little less than a week. Hi. Okay, so today is day 4 of packing up to get my stuff into the storage unit. Yeah, I didn't record myself on day 3 because I've just been really stressed out. You really don't know just how much inventory you have until you have to move it. I don't care how much you keep a spreadsheet, a notebook. When you actually have to dig through it, package it up, all of that, it's a beast. And I've just been like hitting it and focused, but it's been hard. Okay, so I have done these 6 bins, still working on this one at the top. I can still fit some more stuff in there. And then I've got one more bin over here. These 2 boxes are what the bins came in. They're actually pretty large and pretty sturdy, so I'm gonna make use of them because I realized I do not have enough bins still. So basically what I've done is I've taken all of my inventory that is my oldest inventory, and I've put it in these 2 boxes here. So that way, if I feel like I need to go in and donate some stuff, or, basically this is my last chance, boxes of inventory, things that just really need to either be donated or they need to be price dropped like crazy or whatever. At least I'll know this is where they are in these boxes. During this transition, I did have my negative moments. I started to get overwhelmed. I began to think about, well, what happens if my sales don't improve? We're in summer slowdown, but still, the mind tricks started to come into play, where I was like, well, what if my business doesn't elevate? What if I don't start making more money? Is it going to be worth it to move all this stuff into a storage unit and pay monthly rent for the storage? Or, like, what if this just is not worth it? And then I ended up having a sale that I could not find for the life of me the morning that we were moving in. So it was driving me nuts because I wanted to be running around getting last minute items that I still could into a home. Instead, I'm looking all over the place for this one pair of pants. All right, Brittany's log, day 27. Just kidding. Still have not found those effing pair of pants. So let this be a lesson. Learn from my mistakes. You do not want to spend an hour looking for a single piece of inventory. If you haven't gotten your stuff organized yet, I suggest you work on it a little bit at a time, but just make sure that you're getting it organized, because this is not the first time I've had to spend a million years looking for one, and it's always the lowest selling item that gives me the most trouble. I don't know why. I found it. I found it. I found it. Okay, all is right with the universe. I ended up finding them in a bag of inventory that I had stuffed into a closet a while ago because it was an older item and I just didn't want to deal with it at the time. So it's a prime example of needing to get organized. I could have saved myself so much time had I been more organized beforehand, but That's a lesson learned. I'm laughing at myself now because just thinking back to how wound up I was and everything, I got pretty stressed out. I'm not gonna lie. I got stressed out. And I remember one day I was just like really frustrated with something and I said, okay, that's it. I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna make me and my son some dinner. I'm gonna just try to watch some TV and relax. And Mr. Avery actually calmed me down pretty well. He's he's a live wire. He's got a lot of energy, and sometimes the things that you think are just kind of like, I don't want to do that. That's kid stuff. I'm not in the mood for that right now. I got too much to do. Kids can actually help you relax, like a lot, if you just kind of listen. So, of course, I scheduled my move-in date for my boyfriend's day off, so he got to spend the day moving my stuff. This is my boyfriend, Alan. He is going to be the muscle of today's move. So,
Yeah, just like zoom in on the work we have to
well,
do.
I actually did kind of show it a little bit. I tried to cut out that part. I was like, I didn't want to like whatever.
Embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a workout. But we got 3 hours to get it on the truck and 3 hours to get it off. So
6 hours total. So
I predict once we get the truck back here, it'll probably take about an hour to get all of this on the truck. And then get there. And it'll probably take like 2 hours to get it off. Because we got to organize it, got to get inside with the access code and set it up to where you can manage it.
all right.
Let's do this. Do this.
We're gonna give 110%.
Yeah. If we don't pass out first.
So, moment of truth, we are going to get the U-Haul truck now. I'm super excited. I've got my muscle man here and we're getting ready to hit it. I rented a 15-foot truck. They had one that was a little bit smaller, but I went for the 15-foot because I knew I only wanted to make one trip with all my stuff. And it worked out pretty well. I have over 1,500 pieces listed in my Poshmark closet, probably more than that. Okay, so on our way to find our truck. Is that it? Okay, so this is the 15-foot truck that we rented. So we're gonna get her home and we're gonna load her up. Dun, dun, dun. There she is. Here we go. On our way home to get my inventory so we can move. So just to give you an idea, this is what a 15-foot U-Haul truck looks like. Those are my 27-gallon bins back there, so plenty of space to haul what I gotta haul. For the most part, my boyfriend did all the heavy lifting. I did a little bit. I helped a little bit. I had my son's little red wagon and I was loading boxes in and everything, but the majority of the heavy lifting he did. And then, of course, the weather wanted to be terrible. All week they called for storms and it was sunshine. And then, of course, on the day that we are moving in is the day that the bottom falls out. And it came up kind of quick and it got dark. And, you know, it looked like a hurricane or tornado was coming. And then the rain started. So we had to take a little bit of a break. All right. So he just took the bookshelves out. See, that corner is already empty. Saying goodbye to my mannequin for now because I do not use her currently, so I do not want her hanging around. She's also going into the storage unit. She is a full-sized mannequin from head to toe. Goodbye, ma'am. You have served me well. Ultimately, I would say the 15-foot truck was a really good size. So if you have a similar sized Poshmark closet, I would suggest 15-foot or bigger. We got everything up there pretty good. I knew that vertical space was very important to me. I want my storage to climb up the walls. Like I want all of my boxes to be stacked up the walls, kind of like vines. I don't really want it to move into my walking space. Now it does still have, you know, like stuff in my walking space, but I definitely try to utilize vertical space more so than having it come out like this. And you will see that I actually got a pretty good setup as far as having a good height in my storage space. 10 by 15 was a really good size unit for what I have. While I was there, I actually got a sale, and so luckily it was a sale that was labeled and organized into a bin that I could quickly find it, so I dug that out while I was there. Once we got everything in, I was completely satisfied. I feel like it's more official, more professional. It just felt like such an accomplishment. Okay guys, so this is the finished product. Kudos to my boyfriend. Thank you so much. We were both sweating bullets, but he definitely did the hard work here. This is the finished product. I didn't think we would be able to get my bookshelves in there, but he found a way to get it in because he is awesome. My mannequin is back there. This is the importance, these boxes over here, this is the importance of vertical space. I wanted it to climb up the walls so that way I can have more walking space because I wanted to utilize every inch of everything over here. I have my stackable things doing what they do best, which is stacking, and they're not too high to the point of me not being able to like get them down without hurting myself. I've got some things that I still need to arrange, a little off kilter, but I can get to that. So that's it.
Britzy Thrift. There we go.
Britzy Thrift.
All right, cool. Yeah.
And we got the truck back with 1 hour to spare. But the problem was that they closed, so we had to use their after hours QR code check-in to return the truck, which I did not like because, again, I'm not that techie, and you're going to see a little frustration in this next clip. Okay, so we just got back to the U-Haul place. It's actually 5:01, and we didn't realize that they close at 5 because it's Sunday. So we're just going to drop off the key. They have this way of doing it when it's closed where, like, you can, you know, do some pictures or whatever. So we just tried to return the truck, and because the office is closed, we had to use their little virtual QR code and all of that. Let me just say, that's a pain in the ass. I can't tell, like, if the thing actually took or not, because the stupid app kept glitching. The first time we did it, it was acting like everything was good, and then the second time we did it, it was trying to, like...
It made it seem as if we didn't reserve anything at all. So,
yeah, like, I'm like, okay, so am I good or not? And I see it came out of my bank account, but I didn't get a receipt. And, like, it glitched out in the middle of me taking pictures. So yeah. I'm like, okay, I didn't even get through all the pictures that it wanted me to take. So I just don't like that. I'm not a techie person. I would much rather have returned it at the counter with a live human being and have made my credit card payment that way. I hate QR codes. I hate technology to an extent when it comes to stuff like that. So, but anyway, yeah, we did it.
It's over.
It's over. We did it. Dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was frustrating, but we got pizza afterwards.
I'm dead.
The next day, Alan and I wanted to surprise Avery, so we sent him over to his grandparents' house. He had fun with his cousin for a few hours while Daddy and I cleaned up. We vacuumed. We cleaned off the window and everything, got everything together. His dad disassembled his bed and reassembled it in his room so that it would be a nice little surprise when he got back. We got him some curtains and all of that. We looked at little dressers like this for him in Target and in Walmart, but they were just too expensive. So we actually found this one at a thrift store. We only paid $50 for it, and the ones that were in Walmart and Target were about $140. So this was an amazing deal for this is basically all he needs, just like a little 3-tier dresser, and it's in very good quality. Just a few cosmetic dings, but we cleaned it up very well. And so that is his dresser. We got these curtains for him with glow-in-the-dark planets, and we've got some things on the floor. All his toys, all of that. I kind of feel emotional, like I'm getting ready to cry, because it's been such a long time coming. I've been taking up the space for my reselling business, so it feels so good to finally have found that median of, like, I am out of my son's space. He gets his own room, which has always been the plan, but it's kind of hard when you're like, you know, when you've got conflicting things where it's like, I don't want to give up my reselling business, but what do I do? So moving my stuff into the storage unit is awesome because this just makes me feel so good. Try not to cry, but I'm going to show you his reaction. We're going to bring him in here so he can take a look at his new room, and you're going to get to see it. So yeah, stay tuned. You ready for your surprise? You listening? You ready for your surprise?
Yes.
You are? Okay. I couldn't hold it. I already started crying. You ready? Okay.
Open the door. Open the door.
Open.
And turn the light on. Press that button. Good job.
Box.
Yeah.
Box.
It's your new bedroom.
New bedroom.
Yeah. Like it?
Like it.
Nice, right?
It's all yours, baby.
Take it away. Sing something for us. You gonna sing?
No.
This is Avery's room.
Fox.
Yeah.
Clouds. Stars. Brown and red. Gray sky.
What's that?
Wait, there's that one.
You gonna take a seat? Take a load off? Is that your beanbag chair? Comfy cozy, huh? Are you gonna invite Cookie over? You want Cookie to sleep in here with you?
Cookie speak.
Yes or no, Cookie? What is that?
Paper truck.
A peanut butter truck.
Paper truck. Is go biscuits. Go bits.
This car.
There's Tomato. Definitely happy to be in the storage unit now. I feel like it was the right move. It makes me feel like I'm leaving a regular 9-to-5 office job every time I go to pick up sales and drop them off. Ultimately, now that I'm not stressed anymore because the move-in has already happened, I can see that it pays for itself, so I don't have to worry about it not being worth it. Also, the peace of mind is definitely worth it because, again, I get my personal space, my son gets his room, so it was a very good move. I do just have a few tips to share with you. So if you can reserve your storage unit online as opposed to just walking in and buying it, I would suggest reserving it because it can save you some money. My storage unit was actually showing as $182 per month for rent. Just walk in, but if you reserved it online, it was actually only $140. So you can save yourself some money by reserving it online. I would also suggest physically viewing the unit, even though they have like a virtual chart that was on the website. Nothing compares to actually going in and standing in the unit, visualizing your setup, however you have it, whether it's bins or shelves or whatever. Just take a good look, let it sink in, imagine what it's going to look like, how you would set it up, and you can really get a good feel for the size if you're physically standing in the unit. Another thing I wanted to note was online, my options were first floor or downstairs basement. When I went to physically view it, the manager explained to me that there actually is no downstairs basement for the facility that I chose. There's just 2 buildings on the property, and they just so happen to call the first building towards the front of the parking lot first floor, and then the second building is considered downstairs basement, but there's really no downstairs basement. So if you choose downstairs basement for that facility, you're getting a cheaper price, but it's really just all the same level. So you're saving money there too. I'd also recommend climate control because I am primarily a clothing seller. I've got some faux leather items, just things that I do not want messed up in the heat or in the cold. So if you're considering getting a storage unit, I would strongly suggest getting climate control. Lastly, I would say be safe. So when I'm going to pick up items, sometimes it's really quiet. It's a little creepy, a little bit eerie. So I would just say be aware of your surroundings. When you're choosing a storage unit, like when you're going to tour, test your phone signal. See if you can make a call out. Can you text? Because if anything happens, if, God forbid, but if someone's watching you, like they notice, hey, she comes to the storage unit same time every day, something could happen. Also, if you hurt yourself inside of your storage unit, let's say a bin falls on your ankle, you need to be able to call out for help and you don't want to be sitting there with no signal. So test those things, keep those in mind when you're going to look for a storage unit. Also, when you're considering getting a lock, try getting the ones that are anti-cut which is something that the manager explained to me. She said that the locks that they sell for us, which I purchased, I think it was only $21, but it's, you can't cut it, like with the, whatever you call them, the chompers. I don't know the name of it, but it's like an anti-cut lock, she said, and it's a lot safer than the regular ones because if there's a break-in or anything, then they can't get in your lock. And so that's it. That was my experience. I'm so happy to be in there. And Mr. Avery is loving his room. He likes having a space that he can invite other people into. A lot of times he's like, Mommy, Daddy, come sit down, come read, come play. And that makes me feel really good because I like that he has, that space. I know he enjoys it. The first night where he was not sleeping in our room, I jumped up out of a dead sleep because I swear I heard it loud as day. I heard a child that was crying. Then I ran into his room and he was laying there knocked out. So I guess it was just mother's intuition, anxiety, something was playing in my sleep and it made me think that he was crying and he wasn't. Second night, he actually was crying. So we are still kind of transitioning with getting us both comfortable and used to him not being in our room anymore. But ultimately, it's going so well. And I thank you guys so much for watching this. Hopefully, it helped you. And if you're considering a storage unit, I encourage you because I really like the move. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.